Hello and welcome back to Just Code It. Today we're going to take a look at how to deploy your Streamlit application after you create it. The application we're going to be deploying is an application I have a video on. It's a website crawler and chat application. Allows you to chat with a whole website, not just a single page. I'll link the video for this down below so that you can check it out if you're interested in learning how to actually code this app. For now, we're just going to use the app to show how to deploy things. To start out, on the right is the completed app. We had to make a few changes to the app, so it no longer uses Ollama. I replaced Ollama with OpenAI. I did this because it's easier to just use an API rather than connecting a Cloudflare tunnel or something like that to a server that's running Ollama and then using it that way. But you can do that if you have that set up. I just do not have that set up, so we're going to do it this way. Also, I will be creating another version of this video for how to deploy not on Streamlit Cloud, where you can create a Docker image and deploy it on any VPS or any server that you have. I'll also do a video on that, and I'll use Coolify probably. It's basically a open source Vercel replacement. To do that for this one, we're just going to do the easiest method, which is deploying using Streamlit Cloud. Moving on to our project, I might be a bit difficult for you to see this, but there's only a few things you have to do after you create the code. You need to create a requirements.txt file, which is right here. And in here we have Streamlit, and then LangChain Ollama, LangChain OpenAI, LangChain Community, and then I think Request and Beautiful Soup and Faz CPU are the only real ones that you need. I don't know why I have pandas in there. You need to create that because when you use Streamlit Cloud, it will check this to know what packages to download. You also might want to create a .streamlit folder at the root of your project, and then inside there do a secrets.toml, and in there you can provide your OpenAI key. I'm not doing this because I'm pushing to a public repo and I would like to not run up my bill on OpenAI. But if you have a private repo and you want to do this, you can. Now looking at our code, the only real change we made to our code is essentially putting in, so these two buttons over here of selecting the Ollama model and embedding model, those no longer work. I didn't feel like removing them. They're just standalones, and you could actually add OpenAI models for embedding and LLMs there if you wanted to completely convert it. For now, those are just remnants of the past video. The only thing I added is this add your OpenAI text box input. You can add it and then input your OpenAI key. Tells you that it's update. You can hit process. It will process the whole website. You have all the values down here. After it's done, it pops up a chatbot and you can ask it a question like, what is, and it answers it using the context. Now that you know what the application does and everything, and what changes we made to the main application, those are really the only main changes other than going through and wherever it says Ollama embeddings and chat Ollama, we essentially just replaced it with chat OpenAI and then OpenAI embeddings. Those are the only changes we made. After you have your app completed and you have your requirements document, you can go to Streamlit Cloud, and let's go take a look at the repo. So if you go to the repo and go to the file that you will run to kick off the application, you can just come up to the top right corner and select copy the link. After that, there are two ways of creating an application. You can either use a straight URL if you're just deploying a public app, or if you have your GitHub connected, you can search for a GitHub repo. Here, I'm just going to paste that in. If you paste it in, it autofills a lot of it. So it selects our main branch and then our entry point, which is the file name. You can also customize the URL to whatever you want. It's just going to be a subdomain at the streamlit.app. You can also add in your environment variables and TOML secrets here. If you wanted to wait until here to add in your OpenAI API key, you can do that. You can also define what Python version it's using if your application is sensitive to Python versions. Let's jump back to the Streamlit code real quick. I forgot to go over something. When using the Streamlit secrets, you can access them by using st secrets and then passing in the name of the secret. For our secret here, we had OpenAI API key. In our code, we can access that key by calling st secrets and then passing it the OpenAI key. We're just checking if it's been assigned. If not, we're going to then ask for it. That same logic applies for when you're adding in the secrets on the website. Moving on, I'm not going to add any secrets, but you can if you would like. Now, once you hit run, it will take a lot longer. I already had this application built, and I guess if you have one built already, it just defaults you to the old URL. Yep, my URL is different on it. So you can't have multiple applications on the same repo, it looks like, at least on the free account. If you run it, it will take a few seconds and essentially just say, I'm pretty sure it says like it's baking in the oven or something like that. You can click in the bottom right corner and see the logs. You can also restart the application or reboot it. Download the logs, look at some analytics, and then some settings. You got how to share it. And then you can also alter the secrets. Now that the application's built, let's just double check to make sure it's still working. So let's put in our API key. Nothing else really matters. And then click process. I'm going to wait for a second while it's crawling the websites, creating that vector database, and then giving us the text box. And then let's just ask, what is LangChain? Hit enter, and it essentially does the exact same thing. That is it for this video, though. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Also, if you have any topics that you would like me to cover, also comment down below. I'm open to suggestions. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.